first grade. Welcome to week 2 of Virtual STEM. I'm Mr. Brown again, live from my kitchen. Last week we did the water cycle bag, which we're going to take a look at in just a second. I'm going to show you my results, some pictures I took from it, and we're going to discuss what happened. Just wanted to remind you for today's lesson, we're going to need a jar with a lid. Now remember, it doesn't have to be a mason jar. It could be, another sort of jar container that has a lid. The lid's important. We're going to need some ice, and we're going to need some hot water. So remember, as always, we're going to need our parents' permission. With that being said, we're also going to need some sort of aerosol spray. Now, I told you this would work, or hairspray, as long as it's aerosol spray. Now, your parents will know what that means. Please, please, please make sure that you have their permission, okay? Because today we're going to be doing something pretty cool with that. All right, without further ado, thank you for those of you who took the time last week to go through the lesson. And if you submitted stuff, remember, I record these lessons at the end of the week. So if you send me things after this is recorded, I definitely have them and I definitely look at them. So I thank you very much for sending me those. Now, let's take a look at what happened to our weather bag. As you guys can see here in the first bag, that there's a little bit of water droplets coming up and starting to form on the side of the bag. Well, that water wasn't there before. It didn't magically appear. It actually came from that water on the very bottom. The sun heated that water up and evaporated it. Here we can see that there's more water now forming on the side of the bag, and actually you can see there's a little bit growing in the cloud itself. So more water is being evaporated by the sun's heat and actually going up into the cloud. Here we can see the water droplets are a lot bigger. That means there's a lot more water forming from the sun evaporating or heating up the water below. We can also see in this next picture here that it almost looks like rain falling down back into the water. Now, all of this water didn't come from any place else other than the water that was on the very, very bottom of our bag. The sun's heat heated that water up and pushed it up towards the cloud. So that's how the cloud got its rain. All right, guys, we're back. And as you can see in our weather bag, the water, or the liquid, if you will, from the bottom of the bag, because of the heat of the sun, actually lifted up. It evaporated into the sky. And that's how that cloud got its rain. The sun came down, heated up the water, just like if your folks were cooking something on the stove, boiling water. You see that steam rise up? That's actually water evaporating, going up into the air. So that's what happened. The sun's heat comes down, it evaporates it up into the clouds. And when the cloud gets really, really full, that's when it starts to rain. So on today's STEM lesson, we're going to look at clouds. How do clouds form? We're actually going to build a cloud in our mason jar today. Okay? So what we first need is some hot water. Now, you don't have to cook this. You don't have to do anything else to it. Just hot water out of the tap. But again, you're going to need your parents' permission. Okay? Bear with me while I fill mine up with hot water. Okay, as that hot water is running, you can hear it in the background to make sure it gets warm enough. At this time, I would make sure you get ice cubes out, enough to fill the top of your lid. So I'm going to go ahead and get my ice cubes out. Okay, I got my ice cubes. As you can see, I filled that top up. The warm water should be ready. Now I'm going to take my jar and I'm going to fill it up probably about halfway here with warm water, okay? You don't want to do it all the way, just about halfway. Okay, I got it filled up halfway. Let me turn that off. And right away what I want to do is put the ice cubes on top. And we'll take a look at what that looks like right here. Okay, as you can see, I have my warm water in here. Warm water, my ice cube sitting on top. Now I got to leave it like this. Make sure that there's no open spots around the top, okay? Now, this is where, again, you need your parents' permission. We're going to take this aerosol can. Make sure your parents are doing this for you. I'd much rather have them doing this than you. Take it really quick, spray a little bit in there. Now it doesn't take much, okay? And we're gonna sit and wait a second. You can see there's some things moving around inside our container. And what that is that is a cloud forming. Now, why is this cloud forming? Well, that's not the aerosol stuff I sprayed in there, guys. You might think it is, but it's not. This cloud is forming because there is warm air inside this container, and it's meeting cold air up on the top. And the only reason I sprayed the aerosol in there is because the little particles inside the aerosol get those water molecules to cling together, all right, the warm and the cold, which forms the cloud. Now you can see it's awful cloudy in there, and you can see it swirling around. You see it swirling? You can see it just swirling around, going from the top to the bottom. That's because it's cold up here, and it's warm down here. That's what happens usually when tornadoes are formed too, is the cold air and the hot air kind of meet each other but are going opposite ways, and that's how it starts to spin. So we're just going to take this for just a second and wait and check it out and see what happens. Okay, now what I did is I just sprayed a little bit more in there to get more particles involved, and you can really see it moving around right now. Now, again, that's not the spray. That's the water molecules and the water attaching to the contents of the spray, forming a fake cloud, if you will. Now, this isn't a nice cloud that we see up in the sky because, well, we don't have that kind of conditions here in the kitchen, but it is the same way a cloud is formed, okay, with the two types of air meeting. And the molecules inside our aerosol can is really what is in the atmosphere. It's pretending what's in the atmosphere, and thus making it cling and forming a cloud. You can see it still swirling around here. Still swirling, still swirling. And that's because of the coldness up on top here is meeting the hot air on the bottom. Now you can let this sit for a while. Now the warmer the water, the better. Now I just did it off the tap and you could still see the cloud forming. But the hotter you have the water, the better it will get. Okay, we're going to take a look at what happens. And let's check this out here. What happens when I take this top off? Sorry for the camera work. I'm trying to hold it and take the top off at the same time. And you'll see the cloud escaping. See the cloud escaping? Now, actually, most of it is staying down in there. And you can still see it in there. It's still swirling around. Okay? It kind of looks like the fog, right? When you see fog in the morning time. And it's the same thing. Same way fog is formed as well. And you can see some of it's escaping out the top. And again, that's not the spray, guys. That is the actual molecules of the water, the air, the hot and the cold air attaching to the stuff in the spray. Now, this spray, this disinfectant spray, doesn't work as well as hairspray does. So if your folks have that, please make sure you ask them again for their help. Oh, it looks like everything is gone. And you can repeat this, guys, as long as you get more warm water, okay? And try it again. As a matter of fact, I'm going to spray it in there. Put the cold thing up on top. Okay. Now remember, please get your parents' permission. Hairspray works the best, like I said, but please make sure you get your parents' permission, especially when using the spray. Now I'm going to hold this up here to the camera, and you can still see, if the lid wasn't sliding off, it's still in there. The cloud is still formed. Now if we take the top off, the cloud is escaping. Pretty cool, huh? Well, guys, guess what? I got big news for next week. Next week is obviously spring break and Easter. So happy Easter. I hope you all have a good time. I hope you have a great spring break. Yes, we're still having spring break, even though, we're doing this from home or virtual. You guys deserve it. Everybody deserves it in these challenging times. So listen, though, Tuesday, the 21st, we're going to have a live STEM right here from my kitchen. Kindergarten, first grade, and second grade, all of you are invited to come here. Not literally come here. I'm going to be putting a Zoom link up on the website where we're going to do a live STEM lesson right here from my kitchen. Okay? And I want to tell you some of the materials you need. Now, you have 2 weeks to get these materials together. And guys, it's very, very simple. All you need is paper. If you have colorful paper, that's awesome. If you don't, that's okay. Any paper will do. Printer paper, colorful paper, construction paper, notebook paper that has the lines and stuff on it, okay? Any paper will do. You're going to need scissors. Remember, ask your parents' permission. And you're going to need a bowl that we can fill up with water, okay? Or if you don't have a big bowl, we'll use the sink, okay? So for next time we meet, Tuesday, April 21st, we're going to have a live STEM at 10 a.m. You're going to be invited here virtually, not really, even though I do miss you guys and would love to have you all here. But virtually, I'm going to send out a Zoom link, and we're going to have a live STEM lesson right here from my kitchen. You're going to need paper, any kind of paper, a bowl to hold water, and scissors. All right. Also, have any crayons, colored pencils, maybe even if you have some stickers, that'd be cool too. Okay? So remember, Tuesday, the 21st, the Tuesday after spring break, we're going to have a live STEM at 10 a.m. right here from my kitchen. Guys, have a happy, happy Easter. I hope you enjoy this cloud experiment that you're taking on today. Remember, get your parents' permission. I would love to see your pictures. So please, please, please send them to me by the upload button that's right below. All on this web page. It says upload. Click on that. Put your information in. Upload your picture. Okay. Have a great Easter, like I said. Have a great spring break. And I hope to see you here live April 21st at 10 a.m. That's Tuesday, April 21st. I'll put the link on the website. I will hopefully have your teacher send out a remind too, or a class dojo if you have one of those to remind you. Okay. But I'm looking forward to seeing you. Guys, have a great one. Stay safe.